back for our last two sessions. We looked at 5 of our 8 C's. The first session, we looked at courage, curiosity, and clarity. Courage was
the courage to face your current situation. Things are not going as you like. You know where you should be. Face it. Have the courage to say, this isn't working.
That's my situation.
Yeah.
The curiosity was the demand or the where you want to be. It's the better place.
That better place. What does that look like?
That.
How do you create a vision of that better place? Because you can't start to even seek help or take action without the vision.
Yeah. What you are focusing on? What is your forward place?
Vision of a better place.
And we looked at clarity, and clarity was
knowing to ask for details, knowing how to find the right resources on, the almost like the ingredients of everything you need to move forward.
Yeah.
And usually, absolutely, the detail. You need the detail, clarity. Also have the clarity of mind to ask the right people.
Yeah, definitely.
We didn't ask just anyone. She asked Elisha. We talked about. We explained why.
Second session, certainty, which was the job and the actual thing that gives you the ability to produce what you need.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we said, be certain that you have a superpower. You have a gift. You might think, oh, it's just one little oil, but be certain that there is value in it if you seek the value. You know the value you need.
You're looking in.
And we talked about how sometimes the clues are what people tell you, wow, this is really, really powerful what you have here. Like, no, you may do. But those are the telltale signs.
And these can be both tangible and intangible.
Absolutely.
Okay. And we looked at competence eventually. That was the last part of our session last week. The competence. This is working in teams. So you're not a jack. You're not a master of everything.
Absolutely.
You need help to be able to fit in.
Absolutely. And also the fact that you mustn't work. If you work in isolation, you will not move far at all. You may move fast, but you won't go far. Someone said that. If you want to go fast, work alone. But if you want to go far, work in a team. We saw that in the story. Elisha tells the widow, you and your sons. Yeah. You and your sons. So competency. And then, of course, you talked about shut the door. Yeah. Which is part of the discipline element of competency.
Your focus.
Fantastic. So today we are going to look at the remaining C's. So we have to talk about confidence. And talk about commitment. Confidence. So this is how you deal with fear. Let me set the scene, right? So this woman is petrified, the widow. She's petrified. Her sons are under the threat. There's no money. We don't know exactly what the creditor, how much she owes the creditor. But the fact that the creditor is coming after 2 of her sons to put them in forced labor means it's substantial money. There must be a lot of fear there. This is where confidence plays a big part in this process of changing our situation to a better place. Running with a vision. There must be confidence. Where do you think the confidence came?
The confidence I see definitely comes from the fact that she's taken up a plan, a financial plan, worked into the plan to generate that finance. So I mean, she's showing, what's the word I'm looking for? Positivity, if there's anything like that. She's showing the confidence. She knows that what she's doing is bound to gains for her. So that confidence is definitely a plus.
In addition to that, I believe there's a principle, a biblical principle that talks about trust. Trust breeds confidence. Bible says, trust in the Lord and you will not be put to shame. I've tested that statement a few times myself personally, and I've got different stories, but that's a story for another time. I will share that at a point. She trusted the counsel of Elisha, and that gave her confidence. Elisha began, you talked about his resume. Elisha ran businesses before he became a prophet with his family. We saw all of that in previous sessions. Yes, absolutely. And he was someone who actually created the school of prophets, so he's got pedigree. She trusted that he wouldn't even get to this point if he didn't have what it took to advise people, the experience, the acumen, the knowledge, not information, but the knowledge. That's where the confidence comes from. So our encouragement is, while we are on this journey from A to a better place, let's have confidence that the process, trust the process, trust the advice, but more importantly, trust yourself. Have confidence that you can do it.
I mean, faith and confidence run together. And faith, you don't have faith let me structure this properly. Faith is not without experience, as it were. You believe in something because it's worked before, so you have faith and you have confidence in that thing. So when she's taking advice of Elisha, like you said, she's doing it because she's confident that this man has been through a process, which vouches for what he's doing. This guy has worked under someone. He lost everything when he moved from farming to Elijah. He literally lost his entire business, and now he's at the forefront of the ministry, as it were. He's the head of this prophetic ministry. So she's looking at someone who's gone through. He's got a rich CV, let me put it that way. And she's confident in his ability to impact or speak into her life positively.
Yeah. I'll take you back on that point. He didn't so much lose the business than actually
making a choice,
breaking the business. He folded the business up, because in those days, you had the farm, you had oxen, and you had plow, and that was the foundation to good harvest, because you plow the ground, you sow the seeds, you've got oxen, strong, healthy oxen, and all that. He destroyed the plow and boiled his oxen. No going back. That's the confidence he had in himself. That the next season, the next stage of his life, he had all that. And isn't it funny that when you have confidence in yourself, you have trust in yourself, others seem to have trust in you.
Oh, people love a confident man. It's easy to tell, when someone is confident. It's the walk, it's the handshake, it's the eye contact. Even if there's nothing behind it, that confidence reassures you as well of success.
So this journey towards that better place that we're talking about, remember we're here, we're talking about building wealth. Wealth is God's idea, but we need to put the work. And if you look at our current situation and we don't see wealth, and God is promising us wealth, then we definitely need to put these factors that we've been talking about in place to help us make the journey to bring that positive change, isn't it?
I promise. Just going to add in the fact that it's about changing our mindset on wealth. And you see through the entire Old Testament, wealth is a product of the association with God and people following principles. The Bible says the blessing of the Lord makes rich.
Absolutely.
It's a reward. It's part of what comes to you as a reward for that association with God. You see it in the life of Job as well. He says that the Lord was good to him at the end. He had more than he had before. So wealth is nothing. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing immoral about having wealth. That is God's destiny for us. He wants us to be able to apply these principles so that we can acquire this wealth, so that we can do what we have to do.
Absolutely. And you said it earlier on that money is an enabler. We are on this earth to bring some kind of utility. We've been given gifts to serve other people. And without wealth, we're going to be very limited in how we make the impact with the deposit that God has put in us. That's why we there's no ifs or buts here. We're very, very clear. There's no fuzziness about what we're talking about. Wealth creation is a must. It's God's idea so that we can fulfill the calling upon our lives. Okay, so the other thing that confidence does, because confidence, we've talked about the trust factor. You trust in yourself, trust in the process, trust in the advisor, right? Of course, because you don't throw your trust left, right, or center, but you will earn the trust of the people that you're working with, and of course we agree with that. But there's another thing I wanted to talk about as well, because not only do you have the trust factor within confidence, but when things start to go wrong,
which they will,
the confidence to stay on track is what makes the difference from those who make wealth and create wealth and those who don't.
It's the other C, isn't it? The commitment to the process.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So pressure and opposition are just part of the process. Frustrations and sometimes discouragement is part of the process. But we're meant to press on for the mark. You're going for gold. That's what you want. I'm here to create wealth. So regardless of the side trips or the difficulties or when the vessels run out, you still go in and you're going in for that wealth. It's the commitment,
So the person you quoted just now, I press towards, I press on, Apostle Paul, right?
Yeah.
We saw his resume, we saw a few things that he wrote. He was shipwrecked, he was stoned, he was beaten, he was ambushed, there was death threats left, right, and center.
And you know what? That's the things he gloried in.
My guy continued.
Yeah.
And he gloried inside.
That's-
Yes, I count it. I'm glad.
Yeah.
I rejoice in these things.
It's like saying, with my wealth, it's because I've gone through the process. I've been bankrupt, I've been broke, but I'm here now.
I'm here now, and I'm still going on.
It's
I'm still going. I'm committed. We read a quote by Abe Lincoln that. Do you want to read that quickly?
Yeah, it says, commitment is what transforms a process into reality.
Wow, transforms.
Transformation.
So commitment transforms. It takes your blueprint and transforms it into a reality. Commitment, not giving up. Not giving up. I want to share, of course, the first episode we looked at Newton's first law. Second episode we looked at Newton's second law. This time I also want to use Newton's third law, which talks about force as well. It says for every action, expect an equal and opposite reaction. Every time you're moving towards a better place, it's almost like everything possible that you think will go wrong can go wrong and will go wrong to test how committed you are to that thing.
Definitely.
But the good news is this, right? The good news is this. You come to a critical mass where, just like you said with Paul, with all of the hardship, he embraced it. And that's what, then it didn't make a difference to him anymore because he had now reached a point where no opposition mattered anymore.
Press on.
Just carried on. Just carried on. I think we call that escape velocity. Escape velocity is when, again, the rocket has left the gravitational pull of the Earth. And now it's just there. And I think that's what we're looking for. Well, and have you noticed that those who make wealth, they get to a certain stage where the effort is almost zero.
Yeah. It's like they say, money makes money, isn't it? So once they've hit that,
escape,
it's just coming in. We've heard of men who have lost money, broke, but are still wealthy.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because they know the process, isn't it?
Absolutely. And we are not playing down the reality of setbacks.
No.
We're not playing down the reality of setbacks. They are real, they're hurtful.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They can be traumatizing. But I think the good news is, and that's why the Bible is so beautiful, because it tells us that nothing we're going through is new. People have been through all the different challenges and they have come out on the other side stronger.
That's why the Bible actually defines it. It calls itself as everything that was written written for you. And it's historical in the sense that you see people get in situations and get out of situations, and it shows you the step. And you can look back at the story, like what we're doing now, and be able to say, all right, this is what I'm going to do because this happened to A, B, C, D, and this is what they did. So it's written for us. There's so much principle, so much wisdom in the scriptures.
Excellent. So we've covered those two C's, or the last two: confidence. Make sure you have confidence in the process and in yourself. Have confidence in the advisors and trust. I think the most important thing is the trust factor.
Yeah.
I think above all this, let's have confidence in our Creator, who
gives the increase.
It gives increase. Who has said, wealth is my idea. Who wants us to use the gift, the little jar, and expand it. He wants us to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we've talked about competence, work with the team. Commitment, I beg your pardon. Commitment, just continue to commit to the process. And then it's all good. Before we finish this episode, something is bugging my mind. Ask me what's bugging my mind.
Yeah, go on.
No,
what is bugging?
I wonder, and I may be wrong here, please correct me. Why did it take the death of the husband, the prophet, for this action to actually be initiated? I always wondered, and I may be wrong again, and it might not be applicable to this guy. Maybe he died a genuine, we don't know.
Yeah.
But I was just wondering, could it be that while that prophet was in deep financial problem, that he and the wife could have approached Elisha and gotten this same recipe for success? The point I'm trying to make is this: sometimes us men generally, especially when we get really stuck in our ways. Most of the time, women will tell you this: we don't like asking for help. It may not be the case for this prophet, but in many other men's cases, it is actually an issue.
Yes.
Don't wait for the situation to be so
To deteriorate.
bad before you seek help.
Your pride will kill you. Unfortunately, I can say that, but it's very important for us to be open to each other. Again, it's engineered and meant to be protective of themselves, but sometimes it's to their own detriment. We need to be able to speak out to find help.
So let's be vulnerable. I mean, Lily and I, we have a small mastermind group, and one of our key tenets is that we are vulnerable because it's not in our nature. But if there's no vulnerability, it's going to be very difficult to change the situation. The widow was vulnerable, so she went for help. And of course, she got the right help because it was qualified help. So, go on.
I was going to say, you can't bottle it up. Like we said initially, insanity is doing the same thing over and over.
And expecting a change. So, that's our 7 C's, or was it 8 C's? 8 C's, 7 C's.
Loads of C's.
Loads of C's. To effective change. We've taken you away from a really bad financial situation, especially at middle age, and taking us to a better place where we can create wealth. Mulili asked me one time, what's my definition of wealth? And I asked him the same question. My definition of wealth is freedom. Freedom to move around, freedom to express myself, freedom to fulfill my purpose with unhindered. That's what wealth will bring. It gives me all this freedom. The Bible tells me that he who the Son of God sets free is free indeed. I'm told that I'm set free. Wealth, it's now up to me to put the process in place, to get the enabler, to get the freedom that I want. That's my definition of wealth. What's your definition of wealth?
Exactly the same. It's the liberty to focus on what I want to do without having to think about the bills and the fuel and who's gonna, school fees and etc. That liberty, that liberty of income focused mentality where I'm thinking, if I lose my job, where's my next paycheck coming from? So it's me trying to create wealth that lingers on.
Absolutely.
That I can, not focus on those things.
Absolutely. So we've said a lot over the 3 episodes. I wanted to just mention that freedom that we've talked about, as wonderful as it sounds, as liberating as it sounds, comes at a cost. It comes at a price. And that price is worth paying. That price is worth paying. And I'm not talking money, I'm talking all of the C's that we've talked about, the commitment, all of the stuff that we've talked about, the confidence, clarity, competence, curiosity, all of that stuff working together and trusting that you're Almighty, the Almighty God, our Creator, will make a way, will guide our steps and bring is the one who blesses us and gives us the ability to create wealth. But we have to play our part so that He can play His part.
Amen. Thank you.
Thank you for watching, and please remember to get in touch with us, and we will share a lot more resources in the coming weeks. Bye for now.
Bye.